It's coffee break. Whew. Welcome back to the podcast where they don't tell you accurate news.
We don't? Oh no.
Oh man.
You want to start with all those Resident Evil rumors seemingly not coming true?
We'll get there. First things up, the Straw Hats have all arrived on set. They are getting ready to, or they are filming currently season 2 of One Piece live action.
Yeah. We'll get it next year, hopefully?
Yeah, we should get it next year.
Yeah. Hopefully it's early next year. Like January.
I'm sure it'll be around the same time, summer.
Yeah, probably.
It's probably a nice release window kind of thing that Netflix figured out. Because, like, when does Stranger Things usually come out?
I have no idea. I think around fall, like summer into fall, or fall in general. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah, they probably are. Like, there's a nice window.
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving week, Wednesday.
Yep.
They also do lots of movies. But yeah, so they started filming One Piece Season 2. Next up, Demon Slayer. I did not know this. Well, I didn't know any of this until recently. But, so Demon Slayer has announced a trilogy of movies.
Yeah.
And these movies will take place over the Infinity Castle saga.
Yeah. We haven't gotten to that part yet.
This is the end of the show.
Oh, it is?
This is the finale.
Wow, it's ending? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the manga didn't run that long either.
Well, I guess so. Yeah, I'm just so used to, like, back in our day, everything would last for forever. Still,
One Piece.
Still things last for forever. Like My Hero Academia.
There's no way that's good.
My plan was to wait for it all to be over and then watch all of it. And then it became like 17 seasons. And I was like, no, I should have caught this when it was first airing.
There's that one guy out there who's like, I'll wait for One Piece to finish. Yeah, and then they will release them as episodes.
Nice.
But
dang.
This is interesting that they've been taking the episodes and just making movies out of them.
I think it's a smart idea.
And then they just drop them in theaters.
Yeah, and they're doing really good, so understandable.
Every time one of the movies comes out, it's in the box office, and it's like a top contender.
I'm sure they'll have, like, some other random stories, because it's so popular. I see these characters everywhere. Even though this is the end of the manga, they might have some weird OVAs and spin-offs and whatever.
Maybe.
You know.
Maybe. I gotta catch up.
Yeah. I think we've only finished, like, the first arc.
Yeah. I saw that Universal Japan has a Demon Slayer land in it. Mm-hmm. Which, I don't think there was any rides from what I saw. It was just shops and
you just get on a train, and then it's too much shaking around.
And then your teacher's dead at the end of it. And you're crying as you're trying to get out of the park because you're fucking traumatized.
Nice. Yes, money please.
Okay. I think it's really cool to do a trilogy of films to finish off one season.
Also, knowing that we're wrapping it up, I'm more intrigued to watch it now. I like it when stories end. That's my problem. I've seen too many things I've been invested in, and they just got canceled before they could finish. So...
Prodigal Son. Food Stars.
My Name is Earl was a big one.
Yep. Food Stars is not canceled. New episode tonight.
Ever After High. Ruby, though, the official Twitter tweeted soon. Like, they tweeted that today, like a couple minutes ago. And I'm like, soon could mean anything. They also said they were going on a brief hiatus, and that was 2 months ago. So
yeah, that hiatus was them getting fired.
Yes.
For some reason, they thought they would come back.
Well, something's happening. We'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath. We don't even know if it's, like, gonna be the next volume. It could be some dumb spin-off thing, for all we know. Another book.
Yeah. I have no faith in it. I think Ruby's over, get over it, move on.
Yeah.
But you're not, because you're doing your own.
I can't help it. Can't get away from it.
Well, you chose that.
I know. It doesn't leave my mind.
Okay. Is it going to end in a trilogy of movies? If not...
Well, we already have the 2 Justice League movies, so one more, babe.
My God. The Justice League movies. What a waste of time. Mm-hmm. What a horrible use of great IPs.
Yeah.
Why did they drag, the Riddler and Killer Croc into that?
I know. And the thing is, like, a part of me wants to review those movies, but that would involve having to watch them again. And I don't want to have to sit through that. I don't like these characters anymore.
They made Batman and Superman losers. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they just look like shit in general.
The whole show got really ugly.
Which is weird, because... What was it? The Super Friends... Okay, I can't remember the title of it. It was completely all computer animated. And it was about their sons.
Yeah, Super Sons.
Is it Super Sons?
I think so. It was about
Jonathan and Damian.
Yes.
And Starro trying to take over. Mm-hmm. And that is actually a really well animated film. It's not the greatest animation ever, but once you start watching it, you get used to it. Mm-hmm. Those are the guys who did Genlock?
I think so. It definitely looks like a Rooster Teeth styled animation to me. So they can. I don't know. I was looking.
But then clearly the guys who did Ruby X Justice League was just the Ruby people.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
everything's so square.
It's so Play-Doh-y, plasticky looking. It's just ugly and textureless. Mm-hmm.
Ubisoft is currently filming a Watch Dogs movie.
Cool.
They announced this a decade ago.
When the game was still relevant.
Okay, so we don't know much about this movie. We just know there's 2 actors in it. And I didn't even know the actors. So I was like, whatever. But there is an actual photo of a slate saying Watch Dogs on it. And Ubisoft is the ones tweeting this.
I'm expecting it's just going to be a lot like Jason Bourne. You know, a lot of running and shaky cams and too much gray in reality.
So it was 2014 when the first Watch Dogs came out?
Did people even really like Watch Dogs?
I played it years later, and no.
I saw no one really talking about it. If anything, I only saw people talking about how, like, annoying certain game mechanics were.
Oh, yeah. Trying to... You know, they show you this in the trailer, where Aiden Pierce is the main character of the first game, is being chased by the police, and then, of course, he's a hacker, right? So you can go into his phone, and you can deploy the street, blockers.
Cool.
And if you do it right, you can flip their cars.
Nice.
Every time I did it, it hit me, or... or I did it just behind the police officer, so now I can't even get back out.
Dang.
If I did something wrong and came back that way. Yeah, there were certain aspects that I was just like, this is really dumb.
Damn. That sucks. Oh, well.
In 2016, they made the sequel, which was based in San Francisco.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, 2016.
Was a while ago.
I know, it's been almost 10 years.
And that one came to even less buzz. Like, no one talked about it.
And then in 2020, they finally made Legion.
There was a third game?
You don't remember Legion?
No.
It was all over E3 that year.
I do remember. There was a bunch of different characters.
Yeah, and they all had different masks on.
And definitely no one talked about that.
And that every character was voiced by a different person, clearly. Mm-hmm. That was something they said.
Yep.
Anyways, I was like, for 3 games, and you're making a movie?
Yeah.
And... Guys, I don't know if you saw Assassin's Creed all those years ago. It was terrible. So, don't do this.
I don't know, just Underdog... Sorry, not even. Watch Dogs. Doesn't even have a plot.
There is a plot. There's a reason for their hacking and trying to control or gain back control from the government.
No one ever really cared about the plot. It was just a unique gameplay gimmick, but it didn't even work.
Here's another weird thing. They are attached to Assassin's Creed in some sort of way.
Of course they are. It's Ubisoft. They don't know what they're doing.
So yeah, I just wanted to say, Ubisoft's making a movie about something we never cared about.
Good, cool.
Weird. So Zack Snyder tweeted out that there's a potential for the Snyder Cut Justice League, speaking of Justice League,
Wow.
to come out in theaters. Because it never got a theatrical release.
But we can all watch it right now. It's on. It's it's on HBO Max right now. No, who wants to see it in theater? Someone's gaslighting him. This is the same thing as Morbius when they gaslit Sony to re-release Morbius in theaters, and it did worse. This is someone's doing, because anyone who had wanted to see the Snyder Cut has seen it, and also seeing it in theaters would not improve the experience. No matter how pretentious he is about his horrible sound levels.
I thought it was just weird, like, dude, they're already making another Superman.
Yeah.
We've moved on from you.
We'd rather... He's talked about having Snyder cuts of other films. Mm-hmm. I'd rather see those. Focus on that. Don't hold on to your last remaining piece of relevance.
He's got Rebel Moon.
Yeah. That happens soon. Next month?
Yep. We got a month out until Rebel Moon Snyder Edition.
I'm so ready. I'm so excited. I want it to be... there are two great scenarios. Either it's even worse, and it's just like garbage, confusing over-the-top garbage, or it miraculously pulls it all out and becomes the best thing on the planet. Those are our only foreseeable futures I can see.
I was thinking about Rebel Moon today because I saw a Nemesis action figure. I was like, of course no one bought that one.
She died.
No, if there was a Gunner action figure, I'd probably get it just for how much I hate him.
Oh, I hate him. Oh, I'm gonna have to deal with Gunner's
I think I made
dumb
it clear
face again.
in my review how much I hated that character.
Oh man, I'm so excited. I can't wait.
But here's the thing I was thinking about, because, I want it to be a masterpiece, and I think there's certain pieces there that he can totally pull this shit off, right?
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about the second one.
It's so boring.
And I was thinking about them retelling their past lives before they told us their past lives.
Yes.
Do you remember?
I do.
And I was just like, we probably should have known everything about Nemesis in the first movie.
Yeah.
They should have shown us that she went through this trauma and she had to cut off her arms, or her arms were cut off, and that was how she attached them to the robotic arms.
Well, remember how no one ever talked to anyone ever in the first movie? Mm-hmm. But Cora was allowed to, info dump a ton to Gunner. We should have been sprinkling the other people's backstories into those conversations throughout the first film. Somewhere. Anywhere. Oh, well.
There's also just so many characters. Because then I started thinking about, did the first movie ever actually go anywhere?
Not really.
Do you remember the Blood Axes?
Yeah.
What happened to them?
They were the whole reason they left, and then one of them died before they even got back home.
Yep.
And then the other one showed up after the war was basically over.
Yeah. And it wasn't a war. It was one battle. They
recruited one of the Blood Axe's, right hand, she was their right hand, or, main toady or something.
Which is so weird, because then we kind of built up the Blood Axes at the beginning with Atticus talking about them. And then, there at the end, you're like, they were meaningless.
Yeah, they were the whole point was pointless.
It's at least Jimmy did something, told us some story.
I guess.
And he does show up at the end to do some fighting.
He did show up to be a Deus Ex Machina, and it's you could have shown up and started doing this stuff way sooner. Gunner would have lived if you showed up more than just right now at the very end.
I think we're good.
Maybe Nemesis could have lived.
Yeah, save her, but not Gunner.
God, no.
Yeah, and as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, there's no way it's a masterpiece. This makes no sense. These movies are terrible. Mm-hmm. The fact we're even arguing about it is insanity.
I'm so excited for them to have completely new names and
my
it will
God.
be so
Chalice
confusing.
of Blood.
Yeah. Not, what was it originally called?
Child of Fire?
Yeah, infinitely cooler sounding name. Chalice of Blood sounds like edgy middle schoolers fan fiction about vampires.
And this one, they're homoerotic. That's not a selling point. They all are. So yeah, Zach talking about Justice League coming back in theaters. Are we interested? It sounds like you don't care.
No.
But you didn't like the Snyder Cut.
No, that damn electric cello every time Wonder Woman did anything. Oh my god. We don't need her theme every 4 seconds.
Yeah, they really tried to shove Wonder Woman down your throats in that one. Okay, Sabretooth has been revealed for Deadpool and Wolverine. Everyone's seen this.
I thought this happened like months ago.
No, it was behind the sets photos where
Oh.
Deadpool is holding his head. But yeah, we've actually seen footage of him. He looks very similar to X-Men.
You showed me the official picture of him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't recognize him. I didn't know what I was looking at. I assumed it was a Game of Thrones thing, honestly. With all the fur and the long hair. But you could see how I thought that, right?
No.
What do you mean, no?
He clearly looks like Sabretooth from X-Men.
No, he doesn't. Because Sabretooth from X-Men was younger.
Yeah, so you think the guy who played Ray Donovan, I can't remember the actor's name, is Sabretooth. The guy who plays him in X-Men Origins.
Oh, is he in X-Men Origins? Surprise, I don't really like Sabretooth all that much.
Yeah, I just realized talking to you and how painful that was, that you don't even know who the fuck this character is. And you could have just said that, dude.
I know he's the strong toady minion.
No, that's Toad.
He's the strong minion in the first movie, and that's it.
Okay, in X-Men Origins, he was a brother to Logan.
Yeah, I remember that was weird. I wasn't into that. I also didn't like that Logan had his, like, bone claws. Thought that was silly looking.
That's actual canon.
I know. That's what makes it worse. Nothing hurts more than watching a movie and going, wow, that was real dumb, and then learning that was like a cornerstone of the comic books, and you have to do that and go, no.
My favorite part's where they took away Deadpool's mouth. I'm excited for Deadpool and Wolverine. I keep seeing more and more things because I know it's finally July and we're getting closer.
Yeah.
Oh, happy Independence Day.
Yes. Or, if you're British, happy voting day. They're having an election or something.
Oh, yeah, new Prime Minister.
Woohoo!
Nice. A lot of people are having elections.
It's all going bad. Nothing's good.
Yeah, anyways. Moving on. Paramount.
Uh-huh.
Paramount is giving up on Paramount Plus.
What?
Yep.
Well, there's nothing on there.
No. But they have some things, and they got, their own catalog. So what they want to do is basically merge it with another streaming service.
Which one?
The one they're looking at is Max.
A Discovery Max? Max is just gonna start absorbing everyone through osmosis.
Well, Max is HBO absorbing Discovery. Mm-hmm. And then, so, if it were to absorb Paramount, would it become Max Plus? And then when it finally eats like Disney, it becomes Max Plus Plus.
I tell you what, we'll get back to this thing real quick about the Paramount Plus thing. But it is real weird logging onto Disney Plus and seeing a bunch of Hulu things, because
Yes.
Hulu's like oriented towards adults, and Disney was usually very family oriented. So I just log in and then I just see like some violent thing or some sex thing on like the banner up at the top. And I'm just like, this is weird for Disney. This is a weird Disney choice.
Parents have the ability to remove suggestions like that, rated R films, PG-13.
Yeah.
It is weird when you are looking for a classic Disney film and, I don't know, say American Psycho's sitting right there, and you're like, that's just okay.
Yeah. It doesn't work.
It doesn't. I think they really screwed up shoving all the Hulu stuff in. Mm-hmm. Though here's a weird question, and comment this if you guys can answer this. Do you use Disney Plus only, or do you use Hulu only? Because I know Hulu has a deal with students, like college students.
Nice.
Where it's like $5 a month.
Hell yeah.
And you get
Nice.
Spotify for like the same price or something.
Mm-hmm.
It might have gone up in price, but yeah, it was like Hulu and Spotify for college students. And as long as you're in college, you get both of them.
That's a good deal.
It is. I did it when I was in college. Or do you have both of them, like how we have it right now? Mm-hmm. Soon they're gonna add in that new bundle with Max. It'll have a sports package.
Yeah, there's gonna be a point where it's definitely gonna be like, we don't need to be paying for both of these services, you know?
Well, yeah. Now it's like I don't need Hulu
Yeah,
because I have Disney.
but I don't know if all of Hulu, like specifically the Gordon shows, is Food Stars and MasterChef on Disney Plus. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume it is on there.
Yeah, we'll double check.
They have what, Handmaid's Tale or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna assume if they have that, they also have The Bear, so they would have Gordon stuff. So what are you gonna say about Paramount doing this?
Oh, I guess there's not much to say other than, more stuff for Max. They got lots of stuff already.
If the whole point of streaming is to create your own streaming service to eventually partner up with another company's streaming service, at the end, why don't we just skip all this, create one app that has everybody's stuff on it, and we'll call it the cable app, and we'll charge $300 a month for it, okay? And then, if you want to really feel special, you get a collector's dish that you could attach to the side of your house that everyone has to stare at with all the damn wires coming out of
And
it.
it makes some of the resolution better, supposedly. Time is a wheel. Humans are stuck on repeat.
It is. It's so ridiculous. Because I'm like, the streaming wars were supposed to be a fun, competitive way of being like, haha, I've got this cool new show and movie, and look at everyone coming over to my channel. But now, it seems like a lot of these companies, Fox, Paramount, Sony doesn't even have a streaming service.
Well,
Technically, they have Crunchyroll.
Yeah, a billion of them, rather than just partnering with a pre-existing, already good streaming service.
That's what they did originally.
Sat there and went, let's make our own, so we'll make more money. And then it flooded the market, and then everyone's prices went up too much because they were all competing with each other. And now they're selling them all and just teaming up with each other, now that the things are ruined.
Yeah. Are we going to sit back and look at the streaming wars and go, that was a mistake?
We gotta get...
Which is insane. When the television made it into people's houses, right? Mm-hmm. It changed the entire game. Sitcoms became the new thing, while radio shows kind of...
They died. They aren't around.
They aren't the same way. Mm-hmm. You know? Podcasts has really brought back radio, but... being able to sit down and just watch a game show in the middle of the day has changed it.
But then streaming really introduced the binge model.
Yes.
And then everyone was all about that. But now people are like, no, I want the weekly release again, so then we can continue the hype for longer. I don't know.
They're also not making long seasons. They're 8 to 10 episodes because they're trying to save money. Mm-hmm. And they're not taking true gambles like they used to.
Yeah. It's one thing for Game of Thrones, where each episode is like an hour.
Well, that's okay. You cannot compare television to HBO. Even though technically HBO is television, mm-hmm. their whole model, HBO and... Showtime.
Yep.
Their entire model is about creating very unique content that nobody else would do for late night adult viewers. Game of Thrones, just look at that. 2-hour episodes or an hour and a half.
Well, that became...
Sex, blood.
Yep. That became so big and so mainstream that everyone is trying to, like...
That was me.
Mimic that idea. But they'll keep, all the Star Wars shows that have come out. It keeps the 8 episodes, but they'll vary in runtime from, 30 minutes to 20 minutes to 40 minutes. And it's like, you can't... The shorter episode... The shorter amount of episodes worked because there was still tons of hours worth of content because the episodes were so much longer.
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, we haven't seen the new episode of The Acolyte, and we didn't watch the last 2 episodes of House of Dragon.
Yeah.
The Acolyte I am enjoying. House of Dragon's first episode, I mean, we gave her a review, but honestly... Do we wait until the entire season's done so we can binge it?
That's
an entire day.
It would be. I mean, we did it with Twisted Metal. The thing is, with me, I just can't remember, names of characters and places, and, there's 17 different plot beats that are interweaving together and trying to keep up with it all. It was harder with Game of Thrones, but we were able to binge all of Game of Thrones because we waited until the show was over to watch all of it. So we just watched it all in 2 weeks.
No, we watched all of the first 8 seasons. And we watched all that so that we were ready for the 9th season. So when it ended, we were there with everyone else.
Yeah.
And then, we went back to rewatch the first season. So we've seen the first season twice.
Best season?
6. Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah.
It's the episode that won all the awards.
Turbulent. Very turbulent. Game of Thrones. Yeah, everyone's just trying to do Game of Thrones their own way, but doing it cheaper and easier so they can make more money off of it.
Okay. Warner Brothers said Dennis V. I don't know how to say his last name, and every time I try, I botch it.
Okay.
The director of Dune.
Okay.
Warner Bros. Has set a release date for December 2026. Everyone believes that this will be Dune 3.
Oh, boy.
Dune Messiah.
They filmed them back to back, right?
No, he didn't film.
Oh, they haven't filmed yet?
No.
That's a really quick turnaround.
He was able to do that with part 2.
I guess so. We still haven't seen part 2 either.
Godzilla x Kong New Empire is on Max as of this recording.
Yeah.
Go watch it. Anyways, that's a note for myself.
It's crazy how many things that are out there that's yes, that does sound good, and I do want to watch that. Am I going to watch it right now? No. It seems like too much mental energy.
Well, it's okay, Demon Slayer.
Uh-huh.
We stopped after the movie. There's still an entire half of second season.
Yes.
And it's not that I don't want to sit down and watch it. I don't know where I'm going to find that time.
Yeah.
I guess I have to give up my job or sleeping.
That's the thing. It's the sleeping, man. Because also, if you start watching a show and you're, sleepy at night, you might, miss parts that are important because you're drifting in and out.
Yep.
It's tough.
Honestly, that's the last episode of Ahsoka for me. I literally knocked out for a good chunk of it.
God.
It was when they were doing the hyperdrive thing. I was like, what is... We're supposed to have a fight.
They were, leaving, trying to leave or something, and I was like, I thought the show ended. I thought we were wrapping it up. I thought it was over, and then they're, jumping onto the ship, and I'm like, how is this show still going?
Yeah, weren't they messing with those whales again?
I don't...
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know if Andor or Ahsoka is the worst show they made. Book of Boba Fett is fantastic.
No, it's garbage.
It is
hate it.
Phenomenal. They rewrote that character in the best way. March of 2027 is the next MonsterVerse film, which they said is Godzilla.
Okay.
So, Godzilla x Kong New Empire is...
Finally. Tired of these monkeys. Get me my lizard boy.
I think they want to focus on Godzilla because of the success of -1.
Probably. Also, I like
another
Kong.
another movie we still haven't watched.
Yeah. I like Kong fine enough, but of the two, I vastly prefer Godzilla. And all the Kong stuff just doesn't do much for me. I find him very boring. He's just a big monkey.
I always wonder why they never just made his own movie. And now he's going to the TV show, and I'm like, fine, leave him there. Because I don't need him here. And why didn't you make another, like, main character? Mm-hmm. Jet Jaguar.
That is a weird thing that we're 4 movies in by this point? 3 or 4?
Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla vs. Kong, and Godzilla X Kong.
Yeah, and it's only those 2 guys.
Yeah.
Mothra isn't even coming back. Or Rodan.
Maybe something about Mothra.
Maybe Mothra comes back. Where's those 2 little fairy princess twins that are supposed to accompany her? I remembered them.
So they said, we looked into it, we thought of many different ways to try and achieve this. It didn't work.
It is weird.
And I was like, yeah, I get it.
For the direction they're going, I do understand.
I just don't even know why they thought it was a good idea. Okay. Anyways. Kashi Nakanshi.
Okay.
Kashi is the director of Resident Evil Mercenaries 3D, Resident Evil Revelations, and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, or Biohazard 7 Resident Evil.
I believe it's Nakanashi.
Nakanashi?
I think so.
Koshi Nakanashi. Okay, well, he, during the Capcom event, which was exactly what I said it was going to be, when he was revealing the surprise announcement of Resident Evil 7 being on the iOS...
Whoa, I'm so surprised!
he did say and confirm that he is the director of Resident Evil 9 and that they have started production.
Yeah!
So, well, actually, he said the next Resident Evil game. He didn't say 9, but everyone's kind of like, well, that's the next one after 8.
Mm-hmm.
So some people can count, but...
It could be Code Veronica.
Honestly, because he said next Resident Evil game, I was like, it really could be just any other game. That's just Resident Evil.
Yeah. But this
Here's the worrisome thing.
Uh-huh.
For over a year now, I've been reading these rumors about Project Outrage, which is now Revenant Shadows, Resident Evil 9, which stars Leon and Jill in a co-op game in Singapore.
You know what that sounds like? A remake of 6.
Okay, yeah, well, that was the thing.
Not Jill, it's, God dang, Helena.
Yeah, that was the thing, was this team wanted to make... These were part of the rumors. This team wanted to make something closer to 5 and 6. Mm-hmm. Because 7 and 8 are so different than the action-oriented Resident Evils.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Capcom supposedly thinks of these things as trilogies. So the original trilogy is tank controls with the canted angles, while the sequel trilogy is third-person... action oriented, and then the third trilogy has been
first person
what is it, horror themed villains.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out how to say it, because each Baker is a different genre of horror.
Yes.
And then each of the
village
masters,
house lords, is like a classic movie monster, like vampire, Frankenstein. Yes. Urias is a werewolf.
Yep. So yeah, where would they go with 9?
Yeah. So here's a crazy idea. Maybe those rumors are true, but it's not 9, and it's not a remake. It's just a new spin-off thing.
I would be fine with that.
Like Code Veronica times 2, Veronica's codes are missing.
Okay. Code Veronica is not a spin-off.
What is it? Oh, it's a prequel in it.
No.
What is it?
It's a main title entry.
It's not. It doesn't have a number next to it. So it doesn't count within that what you were just saying about the trilogy thing. If it is a mainline game but doesn't have the 9 next to it, it could just be its own new branch.
If I remember correctly, and I think we talked about this in the history of Resident Evil, is that Code Veronica was created for the Saturn?
Wow.
Or what's the one after it? Dreamcast?
The drink. Wow.
And then it was so popular they ported it over to like the PS1.
Yeah.
And it became a bigger title, and then eventually they re-released it on the GameCube.
Makes sense. They do that.
Yep. So even though basically it's not a main entry, because of the story, it's considered canon.
Mm-hmm.
So fine. There. You got me there. Okay, the Resident Evil thing. What is happening? What are we gonna get a new game soon?
Hopefully.
You guys told me no game this year. I'm halfway through this year shaking, but I want to know, is there going to be one next year, or am I going to have to wait longer? Is Monster Hunter just going to be my thing now?
It could be January again, honestly.
That's when Monster Hunter comes out.
They'll compete with themselves. You can't stop them. They're too powerful. Capcom supremacy.
Damn it, we lost to ourselves again. It's okay, we made millions.
I wouldn't put too much faith in the rumors. Like, I remember so distinctly all the rumors of the next-gen Nintendo console that's gonna be after the Wii U. Oh, look at all these, like, next-gen rumors. Look at this shiny chrome controller. And then the Switch came out, and everyone's like, oh, so all of that was wrong.
Yeah, there are people who go out there and make their fakes. Mm-hmm. I often wondered if it's like interns at the office and they're just looking at old concepts or forgotten concepts, and they're just like, why don't we just post this and see what happens?
That'd be, I love, it's always fun with Pokemon, because we'll get the starters, and then eventually there's going to be the leaks of their final evolutions. And it's so crazy seeing what ends up really being their final evolutions and seeing what people were predicting, basically.
I've always realized that the real final evolutions will look stupider because they're supposed to be cuter. Yeah. And they're not going to be exactly what you want them to be. Like, whatever the fuck Quaxley is.
I'm honestly on pins and needles waiting for the next generation of Pokemon.
Stop. You just got this one.
I know. It's because I want to talk about the things I want to see from the next generation. Like a thick water starter. No more skinny water starters. They've been skinny little stick figures for too long. Bring me back a big chonky turtle.
Okay. Next up, Hellboy and the Crooked Man. They got a trailer. I don't know enough about Hellboy to even bother trying.
Is this an animated movie? A live action movie?
No, it's a live action movie.
Is it Ron Perlman again?
No.
Who? What?
And it's not the guy, David Harbour?
It's some new dude?
It's a totally new person. It's a third actor now playing him. And this one takes place in, like, the woods?
Okay.
There's like a scary witch thing going on.
Who's directing this? Who wrote this? Who's doing this?
How do you not know about this?
I haven't heard about this at all.
The trailer just came out.
Like when? Like today?
Like several days ago.
I didn't see anything. I had my ear to the ground too much listening to the Ruby news that wasn't happening.
The trailer, okay, like I said, I don't know the source material. So looking at the trailer, I'm like, what happened? It's like you're watching The Village.
Cool.
But like a little bit of the witch got in there.
I'm sold. I like Hellboy and all of those things. Crazy
blurry shots, people screaming in agony and pain. And then all of a sudden Hellboy's just there in the middle of the woods. And you're like, what the...
Does he still have his like coat? Like,
yeah, he looks like Hellboy.
Weird.
You could just tell it's not the usual guys who play him.
Weird.
So I was like, okay, you know, what's kind of cool is technically because all 4 movies tell their own stories, and I don't know if he has an actual story,
I'm not sure.
or if he's just one of those classic comic book characters who just kind of go off and do a story arc and then go off and do another story arc.
I don't know. I really don't have any idea.
So I kind of noticed that about Dream.
Constantine
Sandman
is another one.
Yep. Constantine, always just kind of running into like the flavor of the week.
Yeah.
I know they call it the monster of the month.
I think flavor of the week works for Constantine. him and Kip. Shout out to Kip.
If they ever do another Constantine, they have to bring in Kip.
Yes.
Because that's too dumb not to. Anyways, yeah, Hellboy's back again.
I'm excited.
I didn't see the last one. I do want to watch it just because I hate Mila Jovovich so much.
I know, right? Oh my God.
It's nothing personal, but it felt personal when you played Alice. And I went to see the last one in theaters, the last Resident Evil.
What a shame.
The final chapter.
What a waste of money. That's the same.
No, dude. The theater was not packed, okay? There was like 5 of us all grouped in one spot.
Yeah.
And we were all giggling about how dumb it was.
Have you ever gone to the theater and just deeply regret spending your time and money going to the theater for something? Because I have.
Yes. What's yours?
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I think you have me beat on that one.
I took my parents and everything.
Ooh.
And there was only 4. There was 5 people. 4 of us was me and my family, and then 1 dude off to the side, nowhere near us. And the worst part was my dad was trying to be like, no, that was really good. I really liked it. And I was like, no, it wasn't. It really wasn't.
Maybe your dad genuinely liked it, and he was like, wow, how'd she know I like that stuff? I like the Arrow Boy. I love it when they call him Arrow Boy. The kid with the tattooed arrows on his head.
Yeah. Jeez, what was yours?
Mine? I didn't even spend my own money. I just wasted my time. I had to go see Snow White and the Huntsman.
Oh, it's so long, too. It feels long.
It's not even long. It's like an hour and a half.
No way.
Yeah.
I felt like it was like an eternity. I watched it with all my girlfriends on prom night.
Yeah. It was not a good movie.
No.
And Chris Hemsworth, I don't even think he was trying. I think he just phoned that one in.
Same with her. What's her name?
No, she was trying.
Was she?
Yeah, that's what quality looks like to
Is
her.
that what... Oh. Why did no one ever get that kid braces? Jeez Louise.
She's not as bad as Demi Lovato.
No.
Oh my god, when she smiles, you're like, huh.
Stop.
My dad used to call her Jaws. Okay, Chris Pratt was in an interview recently, and he was talking about James Gunn and the DCU. Mm-hmm. And he said he would be very excited to join if he could.
Understandable.
He was also talking about Star-Lord. Mm-hmm. And he was like, he wants to come back as Star-Lord. And, I mean, it does say it right there.
Yeah, it does. I don't know how much more we could do with Star-Lord.
I think if we ever bring back Star-Lord, I would hope it's the Guardians coming back to Earth, and he's, like, mowing a lawn, because he lives with his grandfather now. Uh-huh. And they just land on the lawn and ruin it.
I hope Adam Warlock sticks around.
I'm sure he will. There's no reason for... Because I was like... God. Gamora? Mm-hmm. And Drax.
Yeah.
And Mantis.
Uh-huh.
They don't ever have to come back.
They really don't, which sucks because I don't really care about Gamora, but Drax and Mantis really carried.
Watch out. Yeah, I think I would do it for like an Avengers film.
That would be cool.
But question of the week for you guys. If Chris Pratt could play anyone in the DCU, who would it be? A lot of fan favorites is Booster Gold. I'm going to tell you right now, I'll put it up there on it, but Booster Gold for me goes to Glenn
Glenn Powell?
Yep.
Yeah, that would be a great casting choice.
And I know he said no superheroes, and I'm like, Glenn, you should reconsider this one.
Hear me out. Listen to me.
Because he's so dumb.
I don't know who Chris Pratt could play in the DCU.
Yeah.
There's kind of a lot of characters, so I guess it's pretty open-ended. Lots of possibilities.
Make him Batman.
Make him a character, but like where you don't see his face. He's like mostly CG.
I was trying to figure out villains he could play.
I bet he would have fun as a villain. He hasn't played a villain yet, has he?
Which I thought would be kind of fun because he's played the main character. Mm-hmm. He's played the action hero.
Yeah.
He's played the dumb office guy.
Yeah.
He's played the failed magician, who apparently they're all the same roles.
He's played Garfield.
Yep.
You could argue Garfield is often his own villain.
I was thinking of his performance in that Amazon series.
Yeah.
What was it called?
I don't remember. Something like Tomorrow Fight War.
The Terminal List.
It was so close.
Yeah. Tomorrow War was a movie that he was in.
Oh, he was. That one was so... Man, J.K. Simmons keeps popping up in weird spots.
Yeah, he played his dad in that one. Mm-hmm. No, The Terminal List. When he finally realizes that, like, who the bad guy is, and he's a ex-SEAL Marine or something like that, he comes out to kill them, right? Yeah. On their own private island and everything, and he's just walking around hunting people.
Yeah.
But he's the good guy.
Very, like Jack Reacher.
Yes, very much like Reacher. But, like, he has, like, these tomahawks that he's just shoving into people. He's straight up just killing guys. And I was like, that's really unique and interesting to see the guy who used to play Andy.
Mm-hmm. The cute, cuddly goof.
Yeah, and then become the action guy, like Star-Lord or Owen Grady.
Yeah, a good old Owen, everyone's fave.
and then, yeah, have him play this, like, dying Marine who's like, my last shot of happiness is killing everyone on this island.
Jeez Louise. I'm gonna be real. Enough time has passed. He's not bad as Mario. He's fine. He's perfectly fine as Mario.
Well, yeah, he's got a ton of voice acting, so he could just not physically show up in a DC thing.
Yeah.
He could just voice it.
With the Mario movie, I'm gonna say...
Brain.
Brain? The Brain?
Yep.
He could totally be like quippy.
Yep.
Who would be Monsieur Mala? Because that's kind of important. It has to be someone who has good rapport with him. There's a lot of options.
There's a lot of options. Because I was like, you could get Charlie Day again.
You could. I think that would actually be very funny. Having the Brain is the one with the deeper voice, and Monsieur Mala is the one with Charlie Day ass.
or John Leguizamo.
Yes, that would be funny as well.
I know I said his name wrong.
I think Jim Cummings is a good option, just because he can do every voice ever.
Okay, yeah, Jim Cummings. Trying to think. Whoever played April Ludgate? Audrey.
Yeah, Audrey. Don't remember her last name. Plaza. Yeah. That'd be funny. That would be funny.
Who played Drax?
What is his name? I thought Drax, but I just couldn't remember his name. So
Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
See, he might be better as the gorilla.
Uh-huh.
Because he's always supposed to be kind of slightly off anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And it would just be them playing those characters again.
Man.
I don't know. I think the Brain is a great idea for
that. That is a good idea. I agree.
So, I'm going to send that poll out. You guys go ahead. If it's not there, tell me what you do think. Mm-hmm. There's probably an obvious choice that we just completely forgot.
Here we are talking about the Brain, and everyone's gonna be like, this one, duh. And we're all gonna be like, yeah, well, it should have been that one.
Mm-hmm. I did want to add in this last bit. It was about Narnia. They were interviewing the guy who played Peter.
Oh, yeah?
For the original Disney movies.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he would love to come back to Narnia.
Nice.
But he said the truth is that... he quoted Aslan, which was kind of cute.
Aww.
He said, your time is done you are gone forever.
Dang.
And it is what Aslan says to High King Peter and Susan at the end of Prince Caspian.
Damn.
And he was like, when they wrote that was them telling me I have to leave Narnia.
I think he could come back, but like as a different character. Like if he wanted to voice a fox or something, I think he could.
Yeah.
But he couldn't be Peter again or anything.
Well, no, you can't.
Yeah.
You're too old now. But I thought that was kind of just cute and sentimental that he also knew, reading that moment, that he was like, oh, I have to go.
Time for the next ones.
Yep.
Yeah. Still waiting. Still hoping.
One of them's Adam Warlock.
See, this is the thing. That Ruby thing being like soon, I thought Narnia was gonna be soon too, and it's been years, so...
Well, I don't know what happened there with Narnia when they said they were going to do the Silver Chair as the 4th movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then here we are with Greta Gerwig.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
She's writing it with her partner,
Dope.
who also, they wrote the last few movies together. Barbie was one of them.
Yeah, she directed Barbie, yeah.
And yeah, she's directing this one. She's directing 2 Narnia films.
Dope. Hell yeah.
Which I was like, 2? There's 7 books.
Gotta start somewhere.
So yeah, are they going to reboot the whole thing? I would say yes, do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say start with the first one.
Yep.
The Magician's
first
Nephew.
One. Yep.
Okay, box office trolls.
Box office trolls. Wahoo! Did anything come out this week? Is anything happening?
Yeah. So Inside and Out.
Yeah, you did the same thing last week.
In and of itself too.
In-N-Out Burger 2.
Monkey Style.
Still number 1. 3 weeks in. Good for you, Pixar.
Yep, good for them. Number 2, A Quiet Place Day 1.
Wow.
What if you saw it on the second day?
The film
Would it be more quieter?
Is just gone.
I was reading a review about it, and the person said this movie does better when it doesn't try to tackle aliens.
I saw someone on Twitter be like, this movie makes no sense. These aliens react to sound, but every time any of the aliens do anything, they're the loudest motherfuckers ever. They just be chasing each other around the whole movie.
Right. Number 3, Horizon, an American Saga, Chapter 1.
What?
11 mil.
What is that?
What?
What is it?
Kevin Costner.
Oh, that
This
Western
is his
thing.
Yes.
What?
Like, he Chapter 2's already filmed.
It's finally out?
And he wants to make Chapter 3 and 4. Does this sound familiar?
Just in time for America's Day.
Yeah.
Wow. Good job, Kevin. Proud of you.
The actors who worked on it have been defending it while everyone else is just slaughtering this thing.
Well, it is only one part of 4, so I imagine it's not super satisfying.
Well, 3 and 4 are not confirmed.
Yeah, so half of something that might be half of something.
Yeah. Bad Boys Die or Ride. Ride or
Cool.
Die, sorry. And then Kalaki 2898 AD.
What is that?
This is a Bollywood film
Oh.
that is a modern-day avatar of Vishnu, a Hindu god, if you didn't want to know that, who is believed to have descended to Earth to protect the world from evil forces.
Cool. I like Vishnu. That'd be neat. Good job. Well done.
I bet it's just laughable.
It might. I don't know.
Yep, The Bike Riders. Number 7, the Garfield movie.
Good for them.
Number 8, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which
Still?
but it finally fell.
Ugh.
9 Kinds of Kindness,
Oh.
which is going up. And then 10, Jat and Juliet 3.
Oh.
Jat.
Jet. Is that French?
And Juliet isn't?
I don't. French are weird.
Nope, it is...
2 police officers from Punjab travel to London on a mission that proves more complicated than expected.
It's a rom-com.
Well, if you liked the first 2, I'm sure you'll like the third one.
Sometimes Bollywood films just make me go, why? Why did you do this?
I bet they look at our films and go, what are you doing?
I bet they look at our films and go, they have no imagination.
Mm-hmm. Another superhero? Really? Okay,
Well, let me guess.
America.
He punches through walls.
Wow, so creative.
That scene from whatever that movie is where they're pulling back the palm tree and then all the soldiers line up on it and then they hold hands. They let the palm tree go. The guys go flying and they link arms together, create a perfect, like, cylinder.
Yep.
And then they land on top of the wall, and then because their backs have their shields, they roll and unfold.
Yeah. Sure do.
Or that one where the lady throws the baby off the cliff, and the guy, like, takes forever to get down to the baby to save it.
Oh,
because he jumps after it. Have you seen that?
I'm sure I have.
I was laughing at it one day, and a coworker of mine, she was like, I do actually enjoy that movie. And I was like, it's funny, isn't it? And she's like, that's a really intense scene. And I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on here anymore.
Sure.
We finished The Bear.
We sure did.
That took a lot of wind out of my sails.
It's what a disappointment. So, oh my god.
Why is Bradley Cooper in there? What does that have to do with that movie? I've looked it up. No one can explain this.
Yeah, because it's a reference. They're referencing it.
Why was the chef not in there?
I don't know, maybe the chef didn't want his picture in there.
No, the chef, the movie where... Who's the guy who plays Happy? Why can't I remember anyone's name anymore?
Who's... Oh! Happy Hogan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jon Favreau.
Yeah, Favreau. He did his own chef... It's called The Chef.
Maybe he didn't want to. Maybe he was busy.
The season goes nowhere.
It does nothing.
It tells you very little story. But nothing new.
It's so full of itself. There are several episodes that are just like artsy fartsy, trying too hard to like be meaningful. And then there's also like every single conversation between characters is some long drawn out winded monologue, and it's horrible. They don't feel like characters anymore. They feel like walking, talking.
I noticed when they talk, they don't have the same rapport they used to.
No.
And I'm guessing they're getting tired of talking like that.
It's a lot of characters just being broody the whole season.
Yes, they were always upset about something.
Uh-huh.
The lighting, a little lazy, lackadaisical. But that final restaurant where they're having their funeral dinner.
Uh-huh.
Because the restaurant's closing down. It was ugly. It was gray.
Overblown. Yeah. If I was in a restaurant and it looked like a high school cafeteria with like the horrible LEDs, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It was just, no one developed, not even in a small way. The only kind of development that happened was the sandwich window wasn't working, and then they hired 2 guys, and now it's working. And that was the only thing that really progressed in this season. The Marcus, his mother died, and that was the only thing he was allowed to talk about ever.
Yep.
There was one point where he took a picture of like a white violet, and then he was talking about like learning from Carmi's old notebook. And I was like, oh, is he gonna make a new state-of-the-art dessert? No, he doesn't.
I figured with the flour he was gonna create like a special sugar glazed piece that would look like the flour that he would place on top of his pastry.
Yeah.
That's just what I thought.
That would have been cool.
Because I know artists can do that with sugar art. It's a real thing. Look it up. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Sydney having an emotional breakdown, but not having an answer.
God, she was so annoying. She was miserable. Everyone around her was like, isn't this amazing? And she was like, yeah, I guess. Yeah, this is meh. And she had this, like, uncertain look on her face the entire time. And I'm like, it's not acting. You just look like you don't know what you're doing. And I know she's better than that as an actress.
But here's the thing. Seeing her in Abbott Elementary,
mm-hmm.
She's the same character.
Maybe she's not that good of an actress.
She's a writer.
She also directed an episode, and it was... Okay, so...
Napkins.
The last one we left off, we were talking about the Tina episode.
That was her episode.
Boy, oh boy. I didn't know I'd be sitting there missing the days of the Tina episode, because there was a normal episode after that, and then it was the stupid goddamn baby episode. The birth episode, where it's just these two side characters in the hospital doing the boring part before a baby is born.
Okay, so yeah, that's the entire episode, is the mom and daughter, right? Who, the mom of Carmi and the sister. Anyways, she's giving birth in the hospital, and it's just the two characters talking about life and trying to get along with each other.
Yeah.
It's way too long.
So long.
And at one point, you just stop and go, this was a show about food.
Yeah.
Why do I care about your kid when I don't care about your family. Your family was falling apart. That was not the point of the show. It was about him trying to redeem something about his past and using food to do it.
And seeing Nat, like, reconnect with her mom, sure, that's a big moment. Didn't need to be the whole stupid episode. That's the thing. It did not. At the very, very end, it said, to be continued. I suspect...
No other season said that.
Nope. I suspect it was supposed to only be one season. Then they learned they got a fourth one greenlit. Mm-hmm. And rather than, like, write more content, they just stretched out what they had already written. Because that would make sense why we have a whole episode dedicated to these nothing side stories. Or the whole first episode being just an artsy-fartsy, dumb, nothing episode where nothing is even established.
How did all the critics say this was a good season? And I know the fans like us are like, this season sucks.
Because critics, because it's artsy, and it was popular, and a lot of critics
they're just buying the juice. They're drinking the juice. You don't deserve your job anymore if you're doing that. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, The Bear Season 3 sucked. Mm-hmm. It right now, what, at a 76? Yeah. It needs to be at like a 45 for this season. It was not good. It was not funny.
I think they're lucky that they only have the 4 seasons. And they've already said they're going to wrap it up.
And if you're correct and they pushed all the information and action and narrative into the 4th season, then the 4th season is going to be really fun. And it's going to be just like 1 and 2. But why would you sacrifice a whole season like this?
I know. I'm not even looking forward to the 4th season anymore. It's such a shame. Yeah, I liked this show so much, and that really just took me out of it.
Yeah. So like I said, we haven't caught up on our shows. You're still working on this crazy project with Disney films.
I'm almost done. I just finished Princess and the Frog.
Yes.
I'm close to the end.
And I ate a whole can of nacho cheese.
Mm-hmm. You hid in the kitchen. I was in the middle. I was sitting there crying, watching Raymond die, and in the background I could just hear you like munching, crunching on nacho cheese.
We watched a film, which is technically, it's called Tarzan 2, but it is Tarzan 3.
Yes.
Because there's Tarzan. There's Tarzan and Jane, which is a collection of stories. Don't watch it.
No, it's really bad.
it was for a TV show. And then they made Tarzan 2. And you can tell watching this film that even though there was no theatrical release, they wanted to go for something like that. Mm-hmm. They brought in actual voice talent.
Like George Carlin?
Yeah. Ron Perlman.
Uh-huh.
And then they also brought back...
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins.
Yes.
Okay. Name that tune.
Son of Man. I know what it was.
That was not.
That wasn't?
That was Invisible Touch.
Oh, whoops. I thought it was. I assumed it was a Tarzan song.
No.
So even though it's called Tarzan,
I don't listen to Tarzan and be like, this is his best work.
Even though it's called Tarzan 2 and it's the 3rd movie, it's actually a midquel.
It is a midquel. It's about little Tarzan learning to do the vine thing. Mm-hmm. So he meets an old monkey and they learn how to set up the camera and start filming vines.
Dumb. Dumb. Bad joke.
Here's my only thing. It's just the movie's not bad. It's kind of inconsequential whether you like the first one or not, or you need more Tarzan in your life.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone does. But why did they do this?
A lot of them during that era is just like, but why? Why out of all your films, why this one? Like, I don't think Fox and the Hound really needed a midquel. I don't think Tarzan really needed a midquel. The only one I really liked was Bambi 2. I thought that one was good.
Well, you could do almost anything to improve on the original.
Yeah, but it's also, like, it's been decades, you know.
But also, like, Lilo and Stitch 2. Mm-hmm. Stitch has a glitch.
Yeah.
Is a sequel to Lilo and Stitch, even though technically it's not the sequel to it.
Yeah, it's another midquel, I think, because we don't do the cousins thing yet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he didn't know.
Yeah.
So it is a midquel, and it's just about Lilo and Stitch just kind of fighting each other.
Yeah,
which I didn't like.
A lot of them aren't fun. Like, a lot of them is like a really basic premise that you can tell they struggled to stretch out to fit an hour runtime. Because that was the standard. So it was like, oh, Fox and the Hound 2. Their friendship is...
golden.
It's, like, tested. And it's like, how do we do that? I don't know. Drag out the runtime somehow with nothing scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, so Tarzan 2, something happened there and it was weird. It was really weird, and I just didn't understand why you put that much production into something that would go straight to DVD.
Yeah.
And why we don't still do that with things that go straight to streaming, since that's the new DVD.
You would think so. Like we were talking about earlier with the streaming stuff. That'd be the thing. Disney. That'd be the thing.
There it is. They don't know what to do, yet they created the formula themselves years ago. And I'm so confused. And yet, this week, they gave Bob Iger a special, trophy.
For what?
For 50 years at Disney.
Shut up. Leave.
And he was like, it's the ride of a lifetime. And I'm like, yeah, it made you a billionaire, dude.
Let someone who's like half your age and 2 times more creative take over. How about that? That would probably help.
He's also really skinny.
Yeah, because his diet is primarily alcohol and drugs, I'm gonna guess.
You think?
I think at parties. Doing lines in the back of the Disney studio.
Mouse, over here. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you have a safe weekend, especially you Americans.
Yep.
Dumb things always happen this weekend.
If you have like a firework that has a canister that you sit upright, don't lean over it and look down into the canister.
I think they know that one.
You would think so, but also, some people aren't smart.
When people are lighting fireworks, stay away from them. Mm-hmm. Just stand back. Yeah. Just don't be part of that. Also, be careful of drinking and driving. That's another thing that's going to be happening.
That's a big one.
Stay hydrated.
Yep, it's still hot. Just because it's nighttime doesn't mean it's not hot.
It's going to be hot no matter where you're at.
Yep.
And, yeah. Oh, I finished One Piece.
Yeah.
That was not the final video. The final video comes out now. I do not voice anything. There's no voiceover for me. I just recorded it.
Okay.
What story was that? I don't get it. The Straw Hats were just like, okay, bye. And then Lim's like, don't worry about us. One day, audio will come back.
Okay. Weird.
And we'll be friends. And I'm like, what? We just fought him.
Maybe this video game kind of went meh for a reason.
Yeah, and, like, Smoker comes up, because he finally, I want to say dock, but he doesn't dock. He comes on shore, right? Uh-huh. And he talks to the Limbs, and then he just tells all the Marines to leave. And they're like, we're not going to say anything about this? And he's like, no.
Good job.
I don't. So like it would never happened.
Straw Hat saved the day. It could technically be canon.
It
If you wanted to.
It's not canon though.
Yeah.
Oda made sure it's not canon.
It's like Uta.
Yeah.
That could be canon if you wanted it to.
But technically,
but it's not.
Uta is canon, just not the story of One Piece Red.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. And we're gonna take a small break with Power On. Just I want a small break.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna start up the next game very soon.
Very exciting.
Might be next week.
Nice.
Because I might get antsy in 1 week. I'm still working on The Evil Within, and I still have all those other videos I'm working on. What do you got?
This Friday, I'm starting a Nuzlocke. Gonna be exciting. I hope it goes well. We're gonna party and have games and play a Nuzlocke together. So come join me for my stream. And then also, Ruby Reverse Fates Episode 4. It comes out. Hooray! I really liked Episode 4.
What do you mean you're gonna have a party with games?
We're gonna play video games and I'm gonna stream. And it'll be a party because I'll have like a Monster or a Red Bull next to me. And it'll be a good time.
Oh, we have very different definitions of parties.
Yes. It would also involve pizza, but I don't want to eat on stream. So we'll have pizza in spirit.
Just mute the mic.
That's what a party is to me. Pizza?
All you gotta do is just press the little button and you're good.
Nah.
Okay. Well, nice. You got your stream coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Friday?
Yep.
Okay, cool. There you go. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye.